Every restaurant is a buffet if you want to pay. Especially here in Las Vegas, the all-you-can-eat capital of the world. Hello friends, it's me, Shin, and I'm on a quest to vlog every restaurant on the Las Vegas Strip as well as downtown on Fremont Street. I'm 230 in, and this week for number 231, I'm coming to you from the D Las Vegas, where I'm going to be showing you Andiamo Steakhouse. Really happy to have you along. I'll see you inside. All right, everyone, and here we are seated at Andiamo's at the D, Las Vegas. A beautiful steakhouse here. Classic wooden tones, white cloth tabletops, slightly dim lighting with classical atmospheric music playing, and what looks to be a full-service bar. Really nice steakhouse vibes in here. Now, regardless of the vibes, you know it's all about the food for me, so let's take a look at what we have to eat on the menu. So here is your menu at Joe Vicari's Andiamo Italian Steakhouse. Let's take a look at what they have to eat here. Here are your starters, barbecue shrimp, oysters, seafood platter, calamari, looks like it's highlighted here, portobello and beef tenderloin tips, meatballs, all looking really good. Looks like a lobster bisque, Caesar salad, chopped salad, all looking really nice here. And then we have your steaks. Looks like they're proud to source top graded prime beef here, and I see the Tomahawk is what's currently highlighted in the menu, so that sounds pretty good. But they have a lot of really good looking cuts, your standard filet, bone-in ribeyes, the porterhouse there, as well as some couple more exotic cuts, perhaps some veal. I'm not sure what bistecca de maia is a 12-ounce rib pork chop. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. And then here's the fish here. That looks really nice. And here is your pasta dishes, your entrees here. The lobster ravioli looks to be a highlight. Lobster pot, a cauliflower steak. So they do have some options for my vegan and vegetarian viewers out there. And then here are your sides that come for those steaks. Of course, like most Italian steakhouses, or at least steakhouses here in Vegas, the items do come a la carte. And let's see, do we have anything on the back? We looks like a beverage menu on the back. So I'll just do a quick one here, wine by the glass. Feel free to take a pause in the video if you'd like to take a closer look at these drinks. But here are bubbles, your champagne, your rosés, and your whites, and your chardonnays here. Your Italian reds. Yeah, looking really good. And then your additional reds here as well. Your Spanish, your Pinots, your Merlots, your Shiraz and Syrahs here. And then your cab list. Nice big cab list here. And then your steakhouse blends as well as your Zinfandels. And that's the menu here at Andiamo Steakhouse. Really good looking menu here at Andiamo Steakhouse. Plenty I'm looking forward to trying today. And you know how it goes in my videos. Every restaurant is a buffet if you want to pay. I'm going to get a nice variety together. We're going to see what Andiamo's is all about. Appetizers are coming up first. I'll seal them when they arrive. All right, scratch that. Like a great steakhouse, they are offering bread service here, and this is looking really good. Let me give you a view. So you actually get two types of bread in the bread basket. It looks like something like a cheese crisp as well as a standard sourdough loaf. And there's also a spread included here too. Love that the bread service is included. Let's give these a try. First off, the Parmesan crisp. At least I want to say it's a Parmesan crisp. It looks very much like it. Loving the color here. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, that's good. This is a tasty slice of bread. I say bread lightly. It's a little bit more like a crouton when it comes to texture. It's been fully dehydrated, nice and crispy on the outside, with a bit of a tough, chewy center. This is actually quite thin, and so it's actually a pretty fun texture to bite into. The toasted cheese flavor here is actually quite forward-facing, slightly nutty from being toasted, a high level of salinity in the bite. I can enjoy this as a little snack or as a crouton on top of a salad, but that's a fun bite for sure. Next up, the bread and spread. I was not paying attention when my server put this down, so I don't recall exactly what they said it was, but we have it spread on the bread here. We'll give it a try. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh yeah, that's really good. Huge fan of this bread. Wow. I say the bread, but really I mean the spread. Starting with the bread by itself, we are working with a sourdough loaf here. It actually does have a nice crusty exterior, but a super soft bread center. Bit of an earthy flavor to this bread. As the name would imply, you do get a little bit of that sour tang in this bread. Even with just butter, I'm sure this would be a nice sourdough loaf. Now what sets it over the top is this eggplant spread. And oh my goodness, it is really, really good. A tomato-based sauce for this bread. It's slightly sweet up front, but there's a beautiful briny note in the middle of the bite coming from the olives, and then you get a hint of spice on the way out in the aftertaste. The eggplant provides a nice chew, although I wouldn't say you can necessarily make out its natural flavors here, but this spread is incredibly well seasoned. It brings a really delicious accent flavor to this toast. I'm enjoying this one a lot. Definitely one of the better bread services I've had in a long time. I'm liking this one so much. All right, everyone, so that's the bread service here. Really happy with that one. Now, when we return, we'll be doing our appetizers. Don't go anywhere, be right back. And welcome back, everyone. Now, the appetizers got here. This is looking really good. Let me give you a view. I got their barbecue shrimp and their calamari, as well as their Caesar salad, their beef tenderloin tips, and their meatball. Some really tasty looking appetizers here. Let's go in. First off, the barbecue shrimp. 3 enormous prawns in this dish. I've cut off a nice big chunk here on my fork. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, that's really good. I am thoroughly enjoying myself with this appetizer. Absolutely perfect cook on the shrimp. Not only are these shrimp enormous, but they've been excellently cooked. A good bouncy texture here, not too chewy. Not overdone, but certainly not under either. Spot on when it came to the preparation on the timing. Really wonderful textures here. Now, I will mention that you can't necessarily make out the flavors of the shrimp in the middle of the bite. I don't know if that's all that necessary because this sauce is incredible. I would imagine a fair amount of that sauce is pure butter, but it has a wonderful smoky savory flavor. A lot of really great Cajun spices in here. You can certainly make out the smoked paprika, cayenne. I could make out chili powder as well. There's just a really great array of flavors here. It's all been cooked down well, and the sauce is coating the shrimp beautifully, so much so that you actually don't taste so much of the shrimp as I mentioned. But still, just such a delicious sauce with such a beautiful cook on this shrimp leads to a very, very satisfying bite. So far, so good here at Andiamo. Next up, the calamari. Now this was highlighted in the menu and comes with a marinara sauce. I'll give it a bit of a dip here. And this looks pretty tasty. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, not bad. This is a pretty decent calamari. Although after that shrimp, I don't know if this is what I would highlight in the menu. Now you have both squid as well as banana peppers in here. And the banana peppers certainly have a nice sweet heat to them. And what I do appreciate here is that you can make out the natural flavors of the calamari. That said, I do think it's a bit on the bland side. While the breading does have a bit of a crisp to it, I was wholly expecting much more flavor. While the squid and the banana peppers certainly shine here, I think I was expecting just a little bit of additional dimension from breading outside of it only being here for texture. I think the tomato sauce here is pretty good. A very sweet tomato sauce. I think it's also a raw sauce. I don't think this has been cooked down, but there's actually not too much of a metallic tinge. They've actually neutralized the flavors here pretty well if it is canned tomatoes, but it might actually be fresh. All said though, this is actually very well seasoned. You can definitely make out the garlic and oregano here. A very floral sauce, I might say. And I actually do really like the sauce, and so together I think this is pretty good. However, I think the calamari on its own is just okay. Again, if it was up to me, I'd probably be putting that highlight over the barbecue shrimp. Next up, the meatballs. An enormous meatball served with what looks like a whipped ricotta cheese on the top. Got a nice chunk on my fork here. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, that's good. Tasty meatball in Andiamo. It's an Italian steakhouse, so I was expecting a lot from this one, and it definitely delivers. The meatball itself has a perfect consistency, a proper ratio between the breading and the meat. You have an incredibly meaty chew here, but a perfect amount of binding, making it all come together. It's been perfectly cooked all the way through, and the meatball itself has been seasoned well. There's a bit of a dry flavor here. You can definitely taste the red wine in the sauce or in the meatball itself. It actually comes a bit of an accent flavor in the middle of the bite, and I'm enjoying that a lot. Now, it is the same sauce from the calamari. However, this version has been cooked down and not a raw sauce, and so it has a much more savory nature. A little bit more of that sweetness has been cooked out, and that certainly matches the vibe of the meatball more. The whipped ricotta cheese provides such a beautiful richness here. A lovely airy whipped texture. It's really, really nice in the bite. I'm enjoying this a lot. A good meatball here at Andiamo. Next up, the portobello and tenderloin steak bites. A beautiful looking dish here. I've got everything from what I see assembled on my fork. And this one looks pretty good. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, that is really good. Excellent appetizer dish. I am loving this one. All of the elements make sense, and they come together beautifully. Portobello mushroom here has a perfect cook on it. It's been dehydrated just enough where it's not completely soggy, a nice spongy texture here, and a very pronounced earthy flavor. It's been doused in a fair amount of butter as well, providing some richness. The mushroom already sets a great stage. These tenderloin steak bites are so good. They've developed a beautiful crust on the outside, a slight crisp to that, also giving a nice browning to the seasoning. It's been well seasoned at that. A magnificent crust already starts the story off well. Cooked to a perfect mid-rare inside, the steak tips are really moist and very tender, and imparting a very delectable beefy flavor. There's actually a little bit of mozzarella cheese on top of this, delivering a mild richness, as well as some crispy onion straws delivering a nice crunch. But you can also make out the slightly nutty sweetened flavors of the caramelized onions there. And it's all served in a slightly thin but very savory gravy. All of these flavors are coming together beautifully, none overpower the other, and I am just loving how well these are developed. That is a solid appetizer right there. All right, everyone, now the last appetizer to try today is going to be the Caesar salad. Excellent looking Caesar salad. Just by seeing the anchovies available here, I already know this is going to be fantastic. And I've got everything on the fork here. Let's give it a taste. Oh yeah, that's really good. Excellent Caesar here at Andiamo's. Wow, I'm enjoying this one a lot. It's everything you expect in a Caesar, but every element is elevated, and I'm loving the results. A crisp, healthy, and fresh romaine. Not going to go too much into detail on that. And these are absolutely homemade croutons. I'm imagining these come from the sourdough bread from before, and there's also a nice seasoning to them too. A bit garlicky and a little bit spicy in the end. A good crouton in the salad. Now the anchovies here are a really nice touch. Very, very salty, and so when it is a part of your bite, you get a very nice briny salinity there. However, given how many anchovies are here, you're not going to get some in every bite, keeping things varied and interesting. The dressing is classic and very well prepared. Beautiful amounts of seasoning, a nice peppery kick as well, slightly rich, and I actually love the amount of lemon they've added. There's a nice bright citrusy note in the middle of the bite. The shaved Parmigiano Reggiano cheese here provides a nice touch, some additional salty flavors. As mentioned before, this is a classic Caesar recipe, however with a lot of elevated elements, and truly one of the more delicious Caesar salads I've had. A strong showing for the Caesar salad here at Andiamo's. I'm really liking that one. All right, everyone, so that's all of the appetizers I'm trying today. I'm joined by my buddy, and we're going to continue working through this, and then we'll do our first round of entrees. Don't go out, I'll be right back. And welcome back, everyone. Now my first round of entrees just got here. This is looking so good. Let me give you a view. I got their bistecca de male, which is their pork chop, as well as their ossobuco, their cauliflower steak, their lobster ravioli, as well as their pagliaino. Some very tasty looking dishes here. Let's give them a try. First off, the lobster ravioli. I believe this was one of the highlighted dishes on the menu. And you got 5 really big ravioli here, and I've got one on the fork. Let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah, that's good. Now this is a very enjoyable ravioli dish. There's a lot to like about this one. They're definitely using fresh made pasta here. A wonderful texture to this ravioli. Not too gummy, a nice elasticity, but still holding up to the weight of the ravioli and filling. Neutral in flavor. I like the ravioli here a lot. Loving the filling here. There's absolutely no filler inside, it's only lobster, and that I'm loving a lot. This brandy cream sauce is so good. It's incredibly rich and buttery, but also quite savory. Nice amounts of garlic, and it's well seasoned. And the brandy provides slightly smoky edge in the middle of the bite. A nice sweetness coming from the tomatoes here. Some very enjoyable flavors. This is a good one. Nice way to start off our entrees tonight. Next up, the ossobuco. Beautiful ossobuco here. It looks like it's served on top of a polenta. And so I've got both on the fork. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, that's tasty. A really good ossobuco here at Andiamo's. Really tasty dish. This veal shank has been cooked perfectly. Absolutely falling apart. It's so tender and soft. I was breaking this up with a spoon. This is that fall apart texture that you're looking for in an ossobuco. The meat itself does still have a nice chew to it. It's not completely obliterated and not turning into complete mush here either. Absolutely perfect timing. I'm loving the cook on this veal. The polenta here is actually quite good too. A traditional grainy texture for the polenta, a bit earthy in flavor, but otherwise is carrying the sauce of the gravy. Now the gravy here is actually very nice. It's incredibly savory. It definitely flirts with being too salty, but it misses the critical point where it goes overboard, and it really delivers a lot of additional flavor, especially in that polenta. It's a rich sauce too. You can tell there's a butter base here, and there's almost a mole-like bitterness in the middle of the bite that's actually very intriguing. It's meaty, it's savory, and altogether very, very enjoyable. A nice osobuco right there. Next up, the pork chop. Now this is served alongside a French onion style pasta, but I have the pork chop here on its own first. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, that's good. A very tasty pork chop. Certainly enjoying that bite. Super thick cut. It's very meaty. And we asked for this prepared medium, and they absolutely nailed the cook. A nice crust formed on the outside, but it's also enhanced with some brulee cheese. It delivers a little bit of a mild richness, although I wouldn't say its flavors are all that pronounced in the bite. The pork itself is incredibly well seasoned. You can absolutely make out the natural flavors here. And the pork is ultra juicy and super tender. It's also soaked up a little bit of this onion broth, providing a bit of a caramelized sweetness. That's a good pork chop bite right there. Now we'll try the pasta that came alongside that pork chop. And I believe this was described as a French onion pasta. Sounds good to me. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, that's good. I mean, the name really describes it all. This is a French onion soup pasta. The pasta itself is very well cooked. I believe this is also fresh made. A nice elasticity and texture to this. Loving the pasta here at Andiamo's. The French onion soup flavor cannot be denied here. You absolutely get that caramelized sweetness from the stewed onions. And you can tell by the color of the onions here, you're absolutely gonna get that nutty sweetness. It's also very well seasoned. A nice amount of salinity in that soup base. And I actually really like the amount of black pepper in here, providing just a little bit of kick in the back end. A French onion soup pasta, who knew? It all does come together very well. A French onion soup pasta and a gigantic pork chop, sign me up, this is really good. Next up, the chicken pasta. I believe this was called the Pagliafieno, but it looks kind of like a chicken carbonara to me. I've got everything on the fork, let's give it a taste. Oh yeah, not bad. I'd say this is a decent pasta dish, and it does come together relatively okay. The chicken here is pretty good. I will say of all the proteins I've tried tonight, the chicken was probably the driest, but the chicken itself has been relatively well seasoned, so while it tastes good, I just wish there was a little bit more to the texture here. The pasta is nice, freshly made, cooked al dente, a good firm chew to these. Pasta-wise, I'm actually totally happy here. A little bit of earthiness coming from the peas, and while the onions here still actually have a little bit of their bite, not fully caramelized, it does provide some nice accent flavors. The cream sauce I think is okay. Personally, I think it's a bit on the bland side. I wouldn't mind if they up the seasoning there. But I think what's actually a little bit out of balance here is that there's a fair amount of rosemary, and it's leaving almost a ginger-like spice in the middle of the bite. I'm not sure if this was necessarily what they were going for, but personally, it doesn't work all that well for me. While I want a little bit of a floral note from that rosemary, it's a little bit overpowering, at least in the couple of bites that I had. So personally, I do wish that was coming together a little bit better. Overall, still not bad though. Still a decent pasta dish. Alright everyone, now the last entree to try from my first round is gonna be their cauliflower steak. Those of you who watch the channel know that I like to show a large variety for my vegetarian as well as my pescatarians out there, as well as all the others who have some dietary restrictions. I try and show a wide array here. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. I'm definitely digging this cauliflower. Starting off with the cook, absolutely nailed it. Perfectly tender throughout. Although they've taken the time to actually build some crust on the outside, not only is there some texture, but some additional smoky flavors as well. I definitely commend them on the preparation and cook on this cauliflower. It's actually wonderfully seasoned, a slightly spicy but very smoky mix, very Cajun inspired. I wouldn't be surprised if the same spice mix found its way into the butter that's applied onto that shrimp. It's a perfect blend of savory and smoky, and it definitely brings a bland cauliflower alive very well. This is actually pretty satisfying to eat. An enjoyable vegetarian steak right there. Now the cauliflower steak actually does come with some sides, some asparagus as well as a mushroom, and what looks to be something like a grain salad. I think the mushroom and the asparagus you can kind of figure out, but I'm really interested in what this tastes like. So let's give this a try. Oh yeah, it's good. Yep, definitely something like an Italian grain salad, and this is enjoyable. The grains have been perfectly cooked, almost risotto-like in texture. It's spongy but not soggy. I like the cook on this. It's all been prepared in a tomato gravy, and it's actually a very zesty gravy. A nice natural sweetness up front leads to just a bit of hint of spice on the back end, but as mentioned, a very zesty flavor throughout. A little bit more forward-facing with the acidic flavors here as well. This is a nice addition to the cauliflower. Some good flavors here for a vegetarian platter. This is pretty solid. Alright everyone, so that's all of the entrees from our first round. My buddy and I continue working on this and box a lot of it to go because we're going to do another round of food. We're at a steakhouse. We have to do a steak dinner, right? Don't go, I'll be right back. And welcome back, everyone. Now my steak dinner has arrived. This is looking so good. Let me give you a view. I got their tomahawk steak prepared medium rare, as well as their roasted Tuscan style potatoes, their asparagus with balsamic, and their wild mushroom risotto. This is looking so good. Let's give it a try. First off, the tomahawk steak. An absolutely gargantuan 32-ounce steak with a huge tomahawk bone. I requested this medium rare. It looks perfectly cooked to temperature. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, that's really good. Excellent steak here at Andiamo's. This tomahawk is a wonderful cut. It's been cooked to absolute perfection. Such a wonderful crust has developed on the outside, leaving not only a crispy texture, but a bit of a smoky blackened flavor as well. This steak has been seasoned simply but generously. A straightforward salt and pepper mix really allows you to appreciate the flavors of the beef, and that's a huge plus because the quality of the beef here is so good. This steak is incredibly tender, super soft. It's luxurious to chew through, and it's got a very deep beefy flavor. A wonderful texture, a perfect cook on this beef, and it's been seasoned properly, really allowing you to appreciate these natural flavors. This is absolutely what you want out of a tomahawk steak, and Andiamo's totally knocked this out of the park. Now the steaks actually come along with a dipping sauce, kind of an orange-yellow colored dipping sauce. We'll give it a dip here. Haven't seen too many steaks that come with dipping sauces outside of the ones you typically purchase, things like béarnaise, but we'll see how this one is. Let's give it a try. Now that is delicious. This sauce is delectable. I would pour this on just about anything. There's a savory nature here, but it's not meat-based. It's actually a vegetable stock, and it's incredibly savory. There's actually a fair amount of umami here. I think there's a soy base and a whole lot of butter. A very rich flavor. While the tomahawk steak is already quite rich given its fat content, which has been rendered down perfectly by the way, this sauce adds such a different dimension of flavor. I genuinely don't know if I've had a sauce like this, but it's working so well with this steak. Now they did let us have the sauce on the side, but I'm told that they typically just pour it all over the steak, and I can see why, because it's really, really good. Absolutely in love with that sauce. That was incredible. Next up, we're gonna go in on some sides, starting with their asparagus. A good looking asparagus dish here, a classic side for a steak. And I've got a nice amount here on the fork. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, it's good. Tasty asparagus side here at Andiamo's. I'm liking everything about this. Asparagus has been perfectly cooked, tender all the way throughout, but not mushy at all. You can still make out its natural bitter flavors. Perfect cook on this asparagus. It's been doused in a lot of butter, so there is a very nice richness here. A very simple seasoning blend of salt and pepper. It really helps you appreciate the flavors of the asparagus here. That is nice. Now that's not to say it's only asparagus. Obviously there is a nice balsamic drizzle providing a little bit of a tangy sweetness. And you do have some cipollini onions here, providing a nice caramelized sweetness when you get some with your asparagus. Not a super complex recipe, but it does have some depth and it all comes together well. A nice side for my steak tonight. Next up, Tuscan style potatoes. Cooked alongside some onions. This all looks pretty good. Loving the herbs and spices I can see on top. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, that's good. Solid potato side here at Andiamo's. I'm definitely liking this recipe. These potatoes have been cooked perfectly. Fork tender throughout, but not turning into absolute mush. A nice sweet spot when it comes to the timing. Good cook on these. The caramelized onions actually provide a nice sweetness here, and that's coming a little bit more in the beginning of the bite, ultimately leading way to a much more floral midway and aftertaste. The rosemary flavors here are strong but balanced, not too overpowering. That's actually quite nice. The potatoes themselves have been very well seasoned. They're not bland at all. I actually like the depth of flavor here, starting off slightly sweet with those caramelized onions, still allowing you to appreciate the natural starchy flavors of the potato, ultimately leaving out on a nice floral note from that rosemary. A nice potato here. And another good side for our steak tonight. Alright everyone, now the last bite that I'm trying from Andiamo's tonight for my dinner is gonna be the risotto. A wild mushroom risotto. It actually looks quite good here, and I'm liking the consistency that it's staying on my fork even when it's bent sideways. But now it's all about the taste. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, that's good. Very tasty risotto side. This is coming together well. The rice has been perfectly cooked. Still a little bit al dente, a little bit firm, not mushy at all. A good chew to the risotto. I really like the preparation and timing here. Incredibly creamy. It's very rich as well, not only from the sauce, but also the cheese. There's just a lot of good flavors here working together. The mushrooms have a nice earthiness, and you can actually taste the crisp white wine that's been reduced in the risotto. That comes toward the middle of the bite, and I'm liking that a lot. Hints of garlic also make themselves known here, but it's a very creamy and smooth salinity on the way out. A nice complexity here and good preparation overall on this risotto. Another winner for the side. I like that one a lot. All right, everyone, so that's all of the food I'm trying here today. I'm gonna take a couple more bites and then box a lot of this to go, because we'll do some dessert next. Don't go anywhere because sweets are coming up. And welcome back, my friends. Now all of our food is boxed up and good to go, so it's time for some sweets. They don't actually have a dessert menu here. They have a dessert tray, so let me give you a view of that. Looks like they had cannoli, chocolate cake, vanilla cake, carrot cake, tiramisu, creme brulee, cheesecake, all looking really, really good. And that was a really beautiful display. I'm gonna get my order in, and for all of you at home, I'm gonna make that dessert appear right now. And here it is, everyone. I got their tiramisu. Truly stunning looking tiramisu here. I was told that this was made in-house, and it does really seem like everything here was scratch made. And I must admit, I am super full, but there's always just a little bit of room for some dessert, right? Let's activate the dessert stomach. Give this a try. Oh yeah, that is really good. Excellent tiramisu at Andiamo. Wow, I'm enjoying this one thoroughly. Every aspect of the tiramisu is elevated, executed perfectly, and working so well. These have to be some of the spongiest ladyfingers I've ever had. Moist, soft, inviting, a beautiful sweetness as well. Loving the ladyfinger layers here. The espresso is layered so nicely. A perfect play of bitter and sweet. It really keeps your taste buds alive and intrigued throughout the entire bite. Absolutely loving the espresso flavors here. This cream layer is incredibly rich, super airy. Also carrying with it the bitter flavors of the espresso. It's actually all very beautiful together. Nice airy sweetness coming from that whipped cream, and a nice nutty sweetness coming from the caramel drizzle. The balance between sweet and bitter here is just top notch, and I'm finding this enjoyable beyond a shadow of a doubt. A wonderful tiramisu. I'm liking this one a lot. All right, everyone, now that's gonna do it for my dinner here at Andiamo's Italian Steakhouse at the D Las Vegas. Everything you saw in the video tonight came out to just under $700 before tip, and my friend and I had such a fantastic time. I think the barbecue shrimp was actually my favorite appetizer of the day, although I must admit the portobello and beef tips were excellent as well. I think the veal osso buco was my favorite entree of the first round. Really good dish there. Love the flavors. I gotta give it up. The tomahawk steak here at Andiamo's is excellent, and that dipping sauce that they provide should be served on just about everything, maybe even their dessert. It's just that good. I love that sauce so much. The tiramisu was also excellent, and knowing that it was made fresh from scratch in-house makes it even better. And I gotta tell you, I'm really impressed with Andiamo's. This was an excellent steakhouse experience, especially if you're looking for a little bit more of that classic vibe as opposed to the little more trendy club-like atmosphere that a lot of steakhouses are moving towards. So if that sounds good to you, I think Andiamo's is gonna be a really hit spot for you to try out. All right, everyone, now that's gonna do it for this week's video, where I continue my quest to vlog every restaurant on the Las Vegas Strip as well as downtown on Fremont Street. Make sure you return next Saturday. I would love to have you as I continue to add to my collection. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic week, and I hope you enjoy Vegas with me, Shin. Bye.